What's up, everybody? This is Justin Flinner coming to you live from Northern Virginia with the Justin Flinner Podcast by My Mentor Medicine. In light of the recent events, I even hate to call them that, the tragedy, the loss of life, unnecessary loss of life, the lives that are affected, those who survived, but those who are still here, that will forever have burned in their brain the images of fear, of unimaginable emotional trauma, unthinkable. These quote-unquote events, this moment of time that should never have existed in the first place. I mean, my background, of course, is health and well-being. It is not in any way connected to gun legislation or school safety. However, I am a parent, and I am concerned for the safety of my children and yours and all of the other children in the world. No child should ever have to suffer through such trauma and live with it for the rest of their lives if they are in fact lucky enough to survive. This is unbelievable, unthinkable, incomprehensible. And we all have to do our part to make sure that these kind of things no longer happen again. So, in an effort to sort of fulfill this goal, this short-term goal, I want to remind you of the practice coming from Confucianism of being what is called a HAO REN, or a good person. Now, I am not a Confucianist, I'm not a Buddhist, I don't consider myself in any of those schools of thought. However, I am very interested in how they relate to us as human beings, how we evolve, how the medicine that I practice has come to be, and how, in fact, that lives can be transformed just by thinking just a little bit differently. So the idea of being a good person stems from building good qualities from infancy to adulthood. The idea of having just at the basics, compassion for one another. Yes, as an infant, as a toddler, as a young adult, it is dependent upon clearly. It is dependent on how we are raised, how our parents bring us up, how our caregivers bring us up. That aside, there is a point that we reach in our lives where we decide that I will become a HAO REN, a good person. I will make good decisions. I will choose to be the best that I can be for the sake of all those who live on this earth today. So, when I hear of these tragedies, and they keep coming to the surface, they keep happening, they keep reoccurring in our society today, I wonder what it is that we are truly focusing. Are we really focusing on the things that matter the most? Are we really focusing our efforts on the lives that we can truly impact? Or are we focusing on material objects that really have ultimately no place in our society to begin with? To become the best person that you can be at an early age does not solely depend on you. It depends on those around you and how they bring you up and how they teach you to move through life's difficulties, life's challenges. We learn through pain sometimes. We learn through suffering. And there are other times where we learn through guidance, through compassion, through empathy. And that's at a young age. We can also learn through those methods at an older age. Of course, we develop something called wisdom. We use our knowledge, we use our abilities to help affect the lives around us. Not so that we can destroy them, not so that we can affect them in such a negative way that it puts us above them, so to speak. We use our abilities, we use our wisdom so that we can understand what it is that people truly need. The love that they desire, the compassion that they need, the listening that they require from us. We spend so much time talking that we forget what it means to actually listen. To become a good person, you have to open your senses. You have to understand what it means to truly listen, but not with just your ears, with your entire body. To listen with your eyes, to listen with your sense of touch, to listen through taste, through smell, through hearing, all of the senses that we have. Each of us, whether they're inhibited or not, you can heighten at least one of them. So by listening through our senses, by using those senses and combining them with our emotions, but in a good way, not allowing our emotions to control us, but allowing them to guide us, our gut feelings, to understand that an individual in need requires our passion, our understanding, our listening, our silence. We need to be silent in order to hear what it is people actually need. So, to become a good person in your life, first thing you need to do is to learn to listen. Learn to listen to those around you, not just with your ears, but with all of the senses of your body. Experience what it is that they are experiencing in your own way. It does not mean to repeat what they have gone through, but it simply means to be empathetic of what it is the individual has gone through in their life. All lives matter. All lives are equal. All lives require the same forms of nourishment in order to thrive in the world that we live in today. So, I absolutely urge you to be compassionate, to use your listening abilities, to become empathetic, non-judgmental, to become, ultimately, a good person, a HAO REN. We are all good inside. We are all born in a way that is innocent, that is free, that is not full of misunderstanding or judgment or blame or accusations or bullying. We are pure. We do not have these negative thoughts. They develop over time. Now again, I'm not speaking in a way that I'm trying to blame on any individuals or groups of individuals. I'm simply pointing out the obvious, that when we are born, when an infant is born, you don't see them talking in a way that... When an infant is born, there is nothing obstructing them from being whatever it is that they were born to be. Only time can tell what that actually is. Only the individuals that impact their life can tell what that actually is at the very beginning, until they were able to make decisions and live on their own. So from an early age, we need to be teaching children, toddlers, young children, young adults what it means to be a good person. Not just through rights and wrongs and disciplining them through building responsibility or other elements that we consider essential for becoming a decent person of society. We need to fertilize inside every young boy and girl what it means to become a good person, so that they themselves can grow into one and be the next generation of a loving society, of a world full of caring individuals, of compassion, of listening, of understanding. Because if you can listen and you can understand, because if you can listen, then you do have the opportunity to be able to understand. If you can understand another person, then you have become a HAO REN. So learn to listen to the people around you without judgment, without blame, without any stories in your mind. If you have any trouble with stories, go back to our podcast last time called Stories Suck, and listen closely to what it is about stories and how they can negatively impact your lives and how they can positively impact your lives, because stories will keep you from being the person that you ultimately can be. So learn to become a good person. It does not have to be through the practices of Confucianism, Buddhism, or Taoism, or Christianity, or whatever religion it is that you practice or form of belief that you follow. That's all irrelevant. However, they are all open doors. Open doors for you to walk through to become that kind of a good person. So take those opportunities. Walk through those doors. Experience what it means to be the best person that you truly can be, for the sake of the children that are coming into this world, that are here today, and that will come tomorrow. Because life is limited, and it should never be filled with tragedies that Florida has gone through, that anyone else. I really pray in any way, shape, or form, I pray to God that these things will never happen again in our country, in any place in the world. And that's the only other thing that I can do besides becoming a good person, is to try to spread the message, to try to help people understand what truly they can do to affect other people's lives. So please do your best to become a good person, a HAO REN. That's all I have for today. This is Justin Flinner coming to you live from Northern Virginia with the Justin Flinner Podcast by My Metro Medicine. Have a good day, everyone.